Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Will, and asking me all these great questions so I can go through all my policy. I love it. That's amazing. So, I do support the federal decriminalization of cannabis, including nationally expunging cannabis related convictions. I believe it is up to the state's voters to determine whether or not weed should be illegal, medicinal, or recreational. That shouldn't be up to the federal government to decide. That should be, if it's going to be that way in Arkansas, it should be up to Arkansas voters. If it's going to be, one of these ways in Louisiana, it should be up to Louisiana voters. It shouldn't be up to the federal government. Now, we do need to make sure that it is federally decriminalized in the federal government. That way, when a state decides to legalize it, if they so choose and vote for it, that those legal businesses are protected from federal law, and federal enforcement agencies aren't going into these businesses basically robbing them. Because right now the DEA will go into a dispensary in California, go inside a legal business, handcuff everybody, take them outside, go back in, take all of their money, take all of their product, go out, let everybody go and say, have a nice day, we'll see you in 6 months. That is completely wrong, and we need to make sure that our legal businesses have protection from theft like that from the federal government. At the same time, right now, a lot of legal businesses throughout the country are not allowed to store their money inside federally insured banks. We have to fix that. We have a lot of businesses that have been robbed because they have giant piles of cash stuck in their facilities. And my opponent, Tom Cotton, has actually voted against more than once legislation that would allow these legal businesses to do business with federally insured banks. So that is why I support the federal decriminalization. Here in Arkansas, we just authorized $169 million to build a for-profit prison for LaSalle in Arkansas. $169 million to build a new prison that only houses 500 people. If we were to expunge 500 cannabis convictions here in Arkansas, we could take that $169 million and feed the 25% of children here in Arkansas that go to bed with a hungry stomach every night. We have much better uses for our money than treating cannabis convictions as criminal offenses. It should be a health offense, if anything. So we really do need to focus on that. 80% of people who are in prison for a drug charge are there for possession charges. They're not there for selling drugs. They're just there for doing drugs in their own house. So we have to focus on nationally expunging cannabis-related convictions.